bushradionews.blogspot.com.
Bush Radio 89.5 FM News.
Good evening. My name is Lerato Mashile, and this is the Cape Town Mayor Geordin Hill-Lewis radio show. And tonight we are giving an update on the hashtag Springkin Cape Town campaign and the city's stance on Eskom price hikes amid increasing load shedding. Now, we want you to be part of this conversation by sending in your WhatsApps on our WhatsApp line on 061 862 1065. That is, of course, 061 862 1065. Good evening, Geordin. How are you?
Good evening, and thank you for such a warm welcome. That was very nice of you.
I'm trying, man.
It was super energetic. Good
Right?
evening, everyone.
Oh, man.
Nice to-
You're making me sound like a commentator. But how are you this
I'm
evening?
very good. How are you, Lorato?
Absolutely amazing, in spite of all the load shedding, which we will get
Yes.
to. But now,
Sorry that we had to
Yeah.
miss each other last week.
Yes, actually,
And
a
to
lot
all
of
of our
people.
listeners who were waiting for us. I know
Ah.
that it wasn't Lorato's fault. It wasn't my fault. It
Yeah.
was Eskom's fault.
Yeah.
Blame
As
them.
we, but now, of course, I mean, Geordin, as we always do, as we catch up, what have been some of the most significant developments since we last spoke, besides tonight's topic?
I think it's been an action-packed month for the city. Firstly, we had the Rugby Sevens World Cup.
Yes,
Both
congratulations.
men and ladies rugby teams.
Mm.
That was fantastic. We had 160,000 people in the CBD over that weekend. A lot of the international rugby leadership said that it was the most energetic, vibey of the Sevens World Cups that they've had. Obviously, that's a growing format. So it was great to see that kind of event coming back to Cape Town. And we see the Netball World Cup coming next year.
Yes.
We've got the T20 World Cup
Sure.
coming. So lots of great sporting, global sporting events coming to Cape Town. Then we made an important announcement for Cape Townians. The wonderful age-old tradition of the Cape Town minstrels, Kaapse Klopse, Tweede Nuwe Jaar, that it is coming back after COVID. We didn't have it this last year,
Yeah.
but it will be back in December and January coming, and that's really significant for Cape Town, and we are really proud to be the sponsors of that. And then what was also nice was we had a report done on the city CBD, the central business district, basically the city bowl and the center of town, just looking at the post-COVID recovery and really strong signs of new businesses opening, office spaces filling up, so recovery starting to really happen. And that's really nice to see. So obviously it's a very busy month, but there was a lot happening and action-packed month for Cape Town.
We like action, but most importantly, the good type of action that we're talking about. But now, of course, that does, of course, bring us to the topic of today, which is, of course, the hashtag Springkin CT Campaign, which is well underway. How's that been going so far?
Well, firstly, it's been going extremely well. I love the fact that so many people have come out to join us. I get all of those pictures and videos of the cleanups happening around the city, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you very much. And I hope that people are starting to see the difference. We've got cleanup crews on all of our major roads every single day. In fact, twice a day. And that just shows you how quickly they get dirty again. Sometimes we've got a cleanup crew on the N1 or the N2 or the R300 or N7 in the morning. They will go back at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. and it's dirty again.
Sure.
And they'll clean up again. So some of these places we're literally going twice a day to clean up. But I hope that we're getting that kind of culture change. And just remember, for all of the listeners, everyone can stop someone else from littering. If you see them, no one should litter themselves. And everyone can just take a second to pick up a piece of paper. That is how easy change is in Cape Town. If we all do that and make it a part of our lives, Cape Town will look cleaner forever. And that will be really cool.
And that's exactly what we want. But we want you to be part of this conversation and more. All you have to do is send in your WhatsApps on our WhatsApp line on 061 862 1065. Yes.
By the way, Lorato, I haven't come empty-handed tonight.
Yes, I did say.
I've come bearing gifts.
Okay.
So everyone in the studio, including especially you, Lorato, is getting
Okay.
our cleanup
Oh,
hashtag
wow.
Springkin Cape Town T-shirts.
I love it. It says, "Let's act for a cleaner Cape Town."
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh man.
And there on the back it says, "You are part of Team Cape Town," because we are one team and we are trying to clean up our city for all of us, for all of our families, for future Cape Townians together.
Oh
So there
man.
you go. I look forward to seeing you wear this.
Okay, I will definitely be doing so. So it's a case of you get a T-shirt, you get a T-shirt,
Yes,
everybody
exactly. Everyone
gets a
gets a
T-shirt.
T-shirt. There's one for Bevan. There's
Yeah.
everyone's getting a T-shirt. Yeah.
Oh man, but most importantly, we cannot deny the importance of this. It's not just about the T-shirts, but it's also about ensuring that we have a clean Cape Town. Now, of course, if you want to be part of this conversation, please do send in your WhatsApps on our WhatsApp line on 061 862 1065. Now, of course, we have a WhatsApp that says, and I quote, but seriously, like to know what the mayor has to say on the incident that happened at Camps Bay today. This is scary. And thinking of the holidays coming up, are there places safe to go? And what will you be doing in order to keep the city safe?
I'm very sorry to hear about that incident. I heard just a few moments ago about it. The initial information suggests that it's taxi violence related, unfortunately. And it is. The listener is right. It's concerning ahead of our holiday season and for everyone who uses our public beaches and so on. I think we discussed this in an earlier show, but just to go over the salient points again, we have made massive investments in Cape Town into extra Metro Police and law enforcement officers, 230 new officers on our streets this year alone, more coming next year. Some really great crime-fighting technology like eye in the sky technology and body cameras and dashboard cameras for all of our officers. So we are pouring resources into where we can, by the way, into making Cape Town safer. But really, the key request that we have made, and it's important that the listener raises this now because this has also happened just in the last month, is to say that there has got to be what we call devolution. We want to have devolution of policing powers to the city. That means that every city officer, whether it be traffic or law enforcement or Metro Police, would have full policing responsibilities and powers and would be able to do crime investigation and guiding cases all the way through to successful conviction in court. And so we've made that request this month as well.
Listen, we want you to be part of this conversation. All you have to do is send in your WhatsApps on our WhatsApp line. That is, of course, 061 862 1065. That is, of course, 061 862 1065. Now, we have another WhatsApp that says, can the city give bins that allow for recycling on the Cape Flat areas?
Sure. So the city is slowly. I think what the WhatsApp is referring to is the bins where there's special recycling collection, and the city is rolling that out area by area. There's lots and lots of areas that do have that, and it is we are rolling that out as we can accommodate more and more recycling in our recycling facilities. That's the key. That's the key constraint at the moment is not that we don't want more people to recycle. Of course we do. It's that we've got to have these recycling facilities that can handle all of that plastic and paper and so on. But in the meantime, I would just let everyone know that there are already 26 recycling drop-off facilities across the city, including Atlantis and Belleville, Delft, Hout Bay, Mitchell's Plain, Sea Point. There's one in Panorama. That's the one that I personally use. Take my stuff there regularly. And you can find the full list of all of our drop-off facilities. They are open on Saturdays. They're open on Sundays as well. So we understand if you're doing some cleanup or whatever on the weekend, you can take your stuff there on Saturdays and Sundays. The full list is on our website. I personally use those facilities. They are great facilities, and you can drop off your recycling there anytime.
Now, speaking about that, Geordin, how many bags have been collected in the first week of this particular campaign?
I believe it was more than 1,300 bags in the first week of litter. So it was a huge number. I don't have an updated. I can get you an updated number.
Yes,
but yeah, it was in the first week. The last number that I heard was more than 1,300 bags.
Wow, that is we're moving. But now I'm sure that people are also curious about the recycling aspect. Is this a focus of the campaign as well?
It is a focus, of course. We are trying to get people to recycle all the time, and that's why I'm glad I mentioned those drop-off facilities, because everyone can recycle. All plastic, all paper, all tin, metal should be recycled. That kind of stuff shouldn't be going to our landfills. We want to save space in our landfills so that they last longer, of course, and we want to keep all of that nasty stuff out of the environment where it ends up in our rivers and in our ocean, in our flays, and in our public spaces. So we should be recycling it, and everyone can do that. Collect it in a different bag, take it regularly to a recycling drop-off facility. The ones that I've listed, 26 of them around the city, or if you do have recycling collection, then obviously make use of that service.
Definitely. Now, of course, we have a WhatsApp here that says, and I quote, "Good evening, Mayor Geordin Hill Lewis. Springkin also consists of sewage system. There's a stench on Jake's Gerwel Drive, close to Sweet Farm. Can your team please attend to this?" I'm not saying anything. That's where you come in and say.
I don't know exactly where that is, but
Uh-huh.
but let me try and, I mean, I know where Sweet Farms is,
Yes.
but let me try and figure out what's causing that stench. Is there any detail as to what's causing it?
Please
Maybe
do.
there's a dead animal there, a dog or something that's been hit, or I don't know what's causing that. We'll have to investigate that.
Okay, definitely. So you heard it right here. We will definitely, well, not we. May is going to attend to that, not me. But yeah, we also want you to be part of all this conversation and more, man. All you have to do is send in your WhatsApps on our WhatsApp line on 061 862 1065. That is, of course, 061 862 1065. Now, of course, a lot of people are actually asking about what we need to talk about right now, which is, of course, Eskom as well as load shedding. As I have a WhatsApp question that says, "Mayor, please advise how far the city is getting off the Eskom grid."
Thank you for that. That's what we are all focused on at the moment, especially with this terrible load shedding. We're pleased to hear you. I just heard on your news report now. Actually, I hadn't looked at my Eskom push app, but I heard on your news report now that the load shedding is going down tomorrow. But at the same time, I always feel like we shouldn't be celebrating that we're going to have lower stages of load shedding, because all load shedding is unacceptable. We should not be having load shedding at all. And we are trying to reduce our reliance on Eskom as quickly as we can. We'll never be fully off Eskom. That's we use about 2,500 megawatt hours of power in Cape Town, so it's a lot of power. We'll never be fully off Eskom, but we want to get off enough so that we can stop load shedding. That's the idea. We've set ourselves a target of getting that done in the next 3 years, and I think that it is possible to do. It is a journey. I know that some people want it to happen kind of overnight, a click of the fingers. I wish that was possible, but you've got to go through a tender process. You've got to build a whole lot of solar farms, install a whole lot of equipment, get it connected to the grid, build batteries. So it's a big process, and we are being as ambitious as we can. And if there's any opportunity that we can spot to speed it up, then of course we will do that. And maybe we'll have some time to talk about our Power Champions little campaign or opportunity that we are running. But yeah, we're trying to go as fast as we can to stop load shedding.
Definitely. Now, of course, you're also encouraging, coming back to the topic of tonight, you're also encouraging the public to come forth and report illegal dumping to the 24-hour toll-free hotline that was set up. Please just elaborate on that.
Yeah, so we are issuing a lot of fines for illegal dumping, and we're impounding a lot of vehicles, and we are encouraging people to come forward and report illegal dumping, because we want to take it more seriously. We want to stop people from doing this. We want to get that culture and that behavior change in our city. And the only way that we are going to do that is if we can rely on residents to help us stop it, because there are far too many fields where people can dump in Cape Town. We can't watch those 24 hours a day. So we've got to have people reporting to us. And to help people, we are incentivizing them. There's a financial reward available for people who report illegal dumping. If we can see that, if you send us a video, for example, where we can see the registration number of the car, the license plate number, then we can we can nail that person, go and give them a fine, take away their car, and the person who reported it will get a reward.
Now, some have said that rewarding the public for reporting illegal dumping is snitching. Is that an incorrect way of looking at it?
Absolutely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. I've heard this before as well, but that's like saying that someone that is coming to destroy your home, let's say someone came to break down a wall of your home, and you said reporting that person is snitching. That's not snitching. It's protecting what is yours. It's your home, and it's the same about your community. If you don't want to live in filth, if you don't want your children to grow up with litter everywhere and mess everywhere, then we all have a responsibility to report the crime of littering and illegal dumping. In the same way that you would protect your home, your community is also your home. That's where you live. That's where you grow up. That's where your kids are going to grow up. Surely we should all come together and respect those places and care for them together. And the way that we can do that is reporting those people who don't show that respect, who don't care for where we live, for our collective home, and who treat it as their personal rubbish dump. Those people have to be reported. That's not snitching. That's doing the responsible, good thing to protect your community and care for your community.
And now, why was it so important to do a second phase of the cleanup campaign, and how is it different from the first campaign, from the first phase?
Well, it's basically a continuation, but with even more volume and effort put behind it. So the only reason we took a break was because of all the rain in winter. It was tough to go out there every week in the rain and try and pick up litter. So we, as soon as the sun came out again, essentially we started the campaign up again. And because it was spring, it's September, it's spring month, we decided to give it a little new flavor and call it a spring clean, an opportunity to really do a deep spring clean of our city. But the fact is that the campaign is going to continue for it's a permanent campaign. It's going to continue for 5 years because it's going to take a long time to change people's baked in behaviors. We all know that bad behavior, bad habits take a long time to change, right? Whatever your bad habit is, let's not talk about our bad habits.
Yeah.
Whatever your bad habits are, they take a long time to change. You've got to focus. You've got to be disciplined. It takes repetition to create good habits. So we're going to carry on with this until we get that habitual change, that culture change in our city that says we're not going to allow this mess. We are going to clean up together.
Now we have quite a number of WhatsApps that we are trying to get a hold of or get through. It says, and I quote, to the mayor, the outside area around Haydenveld Day Hospital, especially opposite the flats, are a terrible eyesore. People sleeping on the side of the road and dumping is terrible. I've seen it being cleaned up, but just for a day. Please just help with that area.
Okay, sure. I'll get that cleaned up. But the key thing in your WhatsApp, I'm so glad that you said that, is just for a day. Now, there's not a single person from the city of Cape Town who's going to dump there again. It's all people from that community. So, ma'am or sir, whoever sends that WhatsApp, we will come and clean up again. But once it's clean, as you say, unless people report who is doing this, it will be dirty again in a day. You've got to help us catch these guys so that we can put a stop to that kind of behavior permanently. But I'll send someone around outside the Haydenveld Day Hospital. Consider it done. But please do help us once it's clean. Let's keep it clean. And if you see someone going there to dump, take a video, report them, call to the toll-free number. Thank you.
Definitely. Now, of course, let's turn to another aspect of the show, which we have been touching on just a little bit. Last week, the news broke that Eskom had applied for the NERSA for a 32% tariff increase.
Yes.
What is the city's comment on that?
Can you believe it? Let's just fill everyone in. I'm sure that a lot of people haven't heard. Eskom this year applied for a 20.5% price hike.
Yes.
We fought very hard and many thousands of Cape Townians supported our petition. We eventually got it down, still far too high, but eventually we got it down to 9%. Now, in Cape Town, we've got this great phrase. We'll say, so vraggies. So vraggies.
Okay.
Now they've come with another request for 32% price hike. Outrageous. So we're mobilizing Cape Townians again. We've already gone and made public submissions opposing that very, very strongly. and we just really hope that that NERSA will not grant that increase, and that they reject it out of hand, because that is totally unaffordable, totally unjust, and unfair for Cape Town families, and of course South African families. This price increase will apply across the country. Totally unfair for families who are already going through really tough times.
Now we have a WhatsApp question that says, with load shedding, everyone is looking at alternative methods of generation but can't afford. How can the city support those who want to invest in alternative energies but can't fully afford it?
So if you can get solar power for your house, you can. We will pay. We'll give you a credit rather for the power that you send back to the city, and that credit can be used against the rest of your rates bill, your city account, so that in the end you end up with a balance of zero. In the near future, we're actually planning to go beyond just giving people a credit on their homes and actually paying them for the power that they send to the city. It's good for them. It helps them pay for the investment of the solar panels, but it's also good for the city and for the rest of the residents, because the power that we get from residents is much cheaper than the power that we get from Eskom.
Now we also have another WhatsApp question that says, good evening, Mayor. With load shedding still in effect, can you please explain on the city's implementation of the different stages of load shedding and not just stick to one stage?
Okay, let me just try and understand what the question is. So what we try to do is, okay, I think I understand what the person is asking. So let's say Eskom is on stage 4. Cape Town will usually be 2 stages lower than what the rest of the country is on. So we will be on stage 2, but sometimes we can only be 1 stage lower. And so we'll be on stage 3. And so what I think he's saying is, why do we sometimes be on stage, 1 stage lower? Why are we sometimes 2 stages lower? And we don't just stick to. And the reason for that is because our city's kind of secret weapon, we have this enormous battery. It's essentially an enormous battery called Steenbras Dam. And it works like a battery by just letting water flow down the mountain over the turbines, creates electricity just like a battery. And we have to be careful about the levels of water in that dam. It takes very careful management. And we have a person at our network control HQ, Geordin. I wonder if he's listening. Well done. Thank you very much, Geordin. And he keeps careful track of those through the day. And he checks, okay, now we can do 2 stages because we've got enough water. And if the water's coming down a little bit, or things are looking a little bit tight, demand's going up a little bit, then we can only do 1 stage of protection. But we always aim for 2 stages of protection from load shedding for our Cape Town residents.
And now, of course, Geordin, what is the latest on the city's drive to procure power from independent power producers?
Well, as you know, I think we've discussed before that we've closed our first round of bidding. We're now going through the process, and that's quite a lengthy process of interrogating those bids and seeing which ones are serious and which ones are not so serious, which ones are essentially the winners. And then we go through a process of concluding contracts with them, and then they've got to start building and so on. So that's a process. But that was 200 megawatts of power. That's quite a big one. But in January, we're having a second round again. So fair warning to everyone who wants to bid. There's a second round coming in January, and that is a much bigger round. And that includes storage as well. So it's not just solar power, it's also storage. And that is crucial on our journey to ending load shedding in Cape Town. And then recently, we just yesterday, in fact, we launched something called Power Heroes that I mentioned earlier. And Power Heroes are asking Cape Townians to volunteer for the city to install a little remote communications device on their geyser that will allow us to switch their geyser on and off for a couple of hours a day during peak demand, which could save us, and here's the key thing, could save us an entire extra stage of load shedding. So practical example, if the country is on stage 3, we would not have load shedding at all if we get this right. So we're really asking for Cape Townians to sign up. The sign up process will only start early in the new year, so you don't have to rush to do it now. And we will incentivize those Capetonians to sign up. It's totally voluntary. No one will be forced if they don't want to, but we will be incentivizing people to do so.
No, of course, unfortunately, time is of the essence. But we also have one WhatsApp that says, please ask the mayor why they're charging levies on prepaid electricity.
What levies? We don't charge any levies on prepaid electricity. We charge a fixed user access fee, and that's for everyone on the Cape Town grid, and that's to cover the costs of maintaining the grid itself. For those who even go off the grid, they might get a solar system. It's not fair on everyone else if those people go off the grid completely and they're not paying their fair share towards maintaining the grid for everyone else. So that's why it's important for everyone to just have a small flat rate that everyone pays. But that's the only charge that we charge to everyone. So there's no other levy on prepaid electricity.
Okay. Now, like I said, unfortunately, time is of the essence, but please do give Soraya the toll-free number for the dumping, and then also please close it with your last comments.
Okay. The
toll-free number?
Yes, the toll-free number. Let me get it quickly for you.
Yes.
Well, let me just say, Soraya, let me say thank you very much to Soraya for being willing to report illegal dumpers. And I really appreciate that. And let there be many, many more people like Soraya. And Soraya, you and anyone along with you can use the toll-free number, which we're about to give you. Yes. And it is 0800 11 00 77. Let me repeat that again.
Please do, just for that one.
0800 11 00 77. Have you got that, Soraya?
I do hope that you got that, Soraya. Thank you so much.
And all the other Sorayas out there, please report illegal dumpers.
Yes, definitely. And your parting words?
Thank you so much, Capetonians. You are all wonderful. Thanks for helping make this the best city on earth. It is a privilege to serve you as mayor. Thanks for all your questions. We'll get those sorted out. And Lorato, to you, as always, thank you for hosting such a great discussion.
Always.
Blessings to everyone.
Thank you so much. That does, of course, conclude our show for this evening. Thank you so much to the listeners online as well as home who have tuned in as well as participated. And of course, thank you so much to the mayor for everything that you do. Hopefully, we do get more good news in terms of, traction and most importantly, no Eskom. Hopefully, we're praying. Hopefully. But of course, do join us again next time as we continue engaging on these important topics.
Cheers, everyone.